I'm going to tell you the story, but the first thing you have to understand is time doesn't work the way you think it does. You can call me Oracle, I'm the one who's talking to you. Welcome to the cult. No, it's not going to be that kind of Oracle or that kind of cult. No matter how many times you say those words out of my mouth, you dumb mullah, trying to look for I guess, a Rhiannon. You dumb idiot, it ain't happening. Just deal. Anyway, Part 5, about the wives of other men. Chapter 1. The characteristics of men and women, the reasons why women reject the interests of men, about men who have success with women, and about women who are easily gained. The wives of other people may be resorted to on occasions already described in Part 1, Chapter 5 of this work, but the possibility of their acquisition, their fitness for cohabitation, the danger to oneself in uniting with them, and the future effects of these unions should first all be examined. Yes, yes. When, resorting to someone else's wife, consequences of that might want to be examined. Gee, who'd have thought? A man may resort to the wife of another for the purpose of saving his own life when he perceives that his love for her proceeds from one degree of intensity to another. These degrees are 10 in number and are distinguished by the following marks: 1, love of the eye; 2, attachment of the mind; 3, constant reflection. All right. Oh, wow. Holy smoke. I think that's where love at first sight comes from. Okay. 2, attachment of the mind; 3, constant reflection; 4, destruction of sleep; 5, emaciation of the body; 6, turning away from objects of enjoyment; 7, removal of shame; 8, madness; 9, fainting; 10, death. Okay, so I was deeply, deeply skeptical, as I sometimes am of this. But I think this is saying love at first sight, if it isn't able to be if it's requited and not able to be satisfied, can kill. I think that's what that's saying. Bear in mind, I have the capacity to be wrong, but number 1, love of the eye. That's the first thing, and it's talking about love and the eye. That sounds exactly like love at first sight to me. Like, Mama Durs, comma, Durs Date, Rajati. Like, I lay eyes on, I fall in love. That sounds like exactly what that is. Huh. That's scary. If that's right, if that's actually 100% alright, love at first sight, if it goes bad, in terms of actually being real love at first sight, like actual love at first sight, and is requited but can't complete, can lead to death. Because here's the thing. I've known a lot of us have known someone who got it bad for someone, right? And let's look at some of the other steps before I continue. Attachment of the mind, constant reflection. Those are things that happen oftentimes when one falls in love. Destruction of sleep, emaciation of the body, and turning away from objects of enjoyment. You can't sleep, you can't eat. So you get so you emaciate and you stop, you turn away from things that you enjoy. That is a downward spiral. It just is. Removal of shame, madness, fainting, death. Ouch. That's like death by heartbreak. That's terrible. Ooh, that's scary. Anyway, ancient authors say that a man should know the disposition, truthfulness, purity, and will of a young woman, as also the intensity or weakness of her passions from the form of her body, and from her characteristic marks and signs. Vassian is of the opinion that the forms of bodies and the characteristics and marks or signs are but erring tests of character, and that a woman should be judged by their conduct, by their outward expression of their thoughts, and by the movement of their bodies. Now, as a general rule, Gonika Putra says that a woman falls in love with every handsome man she sees, and does so every night. So does every man at the sight of a beautiful woman, but frequently they do not take any further steps, owing to various considerations. In love, the following circumstances are the following circumstances are peculiar to the women. She loves without regard to right or wrong, and does not try to gain over a man simply for the attainment of some particular purpose. Moreover, when a man first makes up to her, she naturally shrinks from him, even though she may be willing to unite herself with him. But when she attempts to gain her are repeated and renewed, at last she consents. But with a man, even though she may begun to love, he conquers his feelings with regard for morality and wisdom, and although his thoughts are often on the woman, he does not yield, even though an attempt may be made to gain him over. He sometimes makes an attempt or effort to win the object of his affections, and having failed, he leaves her alone for the future. In some other way, when a woman is once gained, he often becomes indifferent about her. Lame. As for saying that a man does not care for what is easily gained and only desires things which cannot be obtained without difficulty, it is only a matter of talk. The causes of a woman rejecting the address of a man are as follows: 1. Affection for her husband. 2. Desire for lawful progeny. 3. Want of opportunity. 4. Anger at being addressed by the man too familiarly. 5. Difference in rank in life. 6. Want of certainty on account of the man being devoted to traveling. 7. Thinking the man may be attached to some other person. 8. Fear of the man's not keeping his intentions secret. 9. Thinking the man is too devoted to his friends and has too great a regard for them. Not even a matter of like addressing married women. Like anger at being addressed by too familiarly. Dudes get in trouble by telling women they need to smile more. Goodbye. You might have been cute enough to get a chance, but you say that, instant death to your chances of booty. Just saying. Difference in rank of life. You're not cool enough for me. You're not wealthy enough for me. I need a man who has this. It's a thing. Want a certain kind of man being devoted to traveling. Modern times means there are some women who are into that. Thinking that the man be attached to some other person. They'll do it. Fear of men not keeping his intentions secret. That's more for a cheating situation. So, like, yeah, if you're gonna cheat, person who you're cheating with doesn't want you to let other people know. That's I mean, like, you should know that already. Oh yeah, thinking a man is too devoted to his friend and has too great a regard for them. That often ends relationships more than preventing them from starting. But I guess it can prevent them from starting too. The apprehension that he's not in earnest. I don't think you're taking us seriously. Bashfulness on account of being an illustrious man. Fear on account of his being being powerful or possessed too impetuous passion. In the case of a dear woman. Bashful on account of him being too clever. The thought of having once lived with him or on friendly terms only. I can't. We've been friends for too long. Condemned of his want of knowledge of the world. Now that's the thing. Like, a lot of dudes will complain about being friend zoned, but here's another thing. First of all, you shouldn't complain about being friend zoned. Because being friend zoned, or saying you were, means that you only looked at them as someone to have sex with and you're pissed off about it. That's my opinion. If you want to like Pravitri Karodi and make a mountain out of it, so I can die on it, but like, there are worse hills to die on. Contempt is one of the knowledge of the world. Distrust of his low character. Yep, these are all good reasons. Disgust is one of perception of her love for him. In the Oh, yeah, yeah. If she's into you and you don't pick up on it too long, will piss her off. In the case of an elephant woman, the thought that he is a hair man or a man of weak passion. Compassion lest any thing should befall him on account of his passion. 20 is 20 is fear at her own imperfections. 21 fear of discovery. 22 disillusion seeing his gray hair or shabby appearance. 23 fear that he may be employed by her husband to test her chastity. 24 the thought that he has too much regard for morality. Whichever the above cause a man may detect, he should endeavor to remove it from the very beginning. Thus, the bashfulness may rise from the greatness or his availability. He should remove by showing his great love and affection for her. The difficulty of want of opportunity or his inaccessibility he should remove by showing some easy way of access. The excessive respect entertained by the woman for him should be removed by making himself very familiar. The difficulties that arise from his being thought of low character he should remove by showing his valor and wisdom. Those that come from neglect by extra attention, and those that arise from fear by giving proper encouragement. The following are the men who generally obtain success with women. 1. Men well versed in the science of love. 2. Men skilled in telling stories. 3. Men acquainted with women from their childhood. I'm looking at you, men skilled in telling stories. Anyway, men who have secured their confidence, men who send presents to them, men who talk well, men who do things they like that they like, men who who have not loved other women previously, men who act as messengers. Interesting. Men who knew their weak points. That's good for anyone, honestly. Um, Men who are desired by good women. Men who are united with their female friends. Men who are good looking, men who have been brought up with them, men who are their neighbors, men who are devoted to sexual pleasures, even though they be their own servants. These be their own servants. These be their own servants. 17. The loves of their lovers of the daughters of their nurse. I think this has to do with like, oh honey, he's a good time. That's my best guess. Um, Men who have been lately married, men who like picnics and pleasure parties, men who are liberal. Ha, ha, ha. Libs get the women. Men who are celebrated by being very strong, bold men, enterprising and brave men. There, check it out, check it out, check it out, check it out. Lib haters. According to the Kama Sutra, libs get the ladies. Let your feelings care about those facts. Anyway, men who surpass their husbands in learning good looks, in good quality and liberality, enterprising and brave men, men whose dress and manner of living are magnificent. The following are women who are easily gained over. Women who stand at the doors of their houses. 2. Women who are always looking out in the street. Women who are conversing at their neighbor's house. A woman who is always staring at you. That one. That's a good one. A female messenger. I'm really going to be curious what this thing with messengers is. A woman who looks sideways at you. Not all side eye is good. A woman whose husband has taken another wife without any just cause. A woman who hates her husband or is hated by him. A woman who has nobody to look after or keep in check. Whoa. That's cold. Um, A woman who's not had any children. A woman whose family or caste is not well known. A woman whose children are dead. That's scary. A woman who is fond of society. A woman who is apparently very affectionate with her husband. The wife of an actor. Road. 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 This comes from a time when oftentimes nada pumskali samasti. I'm going to just try to believe that. Because now I'm irritated. A widow, a poor woman, a woman fond of enjoyments. By the way, I used to be a stage manager. The notion that, like, the wives of all the actors that I worked with are all easy deeply offends me. That's all. Anyway. Woman fond of enjoyments. The wife of a man with many younger brothers. A vain woman, a woman whose husband is inferior to her in rank or abilities, a woman who is proud of her skills in the arts, a woman who is disturbed in mind by the folly of her husband, a woman who has been married in her infancy to a rich man and not liking him when she grows up, desires a man possessing a disposition, talents, and wisdom suitable to her own taste. Ugh, ugh, oh, gross, gross, gross. That was a thing that happened. Like, obviously, nothing like sexual happened, obviously, but like, still. Gross. A woman who was slighted by her husband without any cause. A woman who was not respected by other women by the same rank or beauty as herself. A woman whose husband is devoted to traveling. The wife of a jeweler. A jealous woman, a covetous woman, an immoral woman, a barren woman, a lazy woman. A cowardly woman, a humpbacked woman, a dwarfish woman, a deformed woman, a vulgar woman, an ill-smelling woman, a sick woman, an old woman. That reminds me of Quagmire from Family Guy going, what? Fat chicks need love too, but they gotta pay. Like, whoa. There was also two verses on the subject as follows. Desire would spring from nature, which is increased by art, and from which all danger is taken away by wisdom, becomes firm and secure. A clever man, depending on his own ability and observing carefully the ideas and thoughts of women, and removing the causes of their turning away from men, is generally successful with them. And that is the Kama Sutra, Part 5, Chapter 1. This is Oracle, I'm gonna sing myself out. Thank you for watching, and if so inclined, comment below. So peace out, have good peace of mind.